let's try to find the domain for the following function. It's defined by the square root of x minus 1 over x cubed minus 8. So the first thing that we need to do is that everything inside the square root has to be positive. That means we need to find the values of x that would make x minus 1 over x cubed minus 8 bigger or equal than 0. In this notation, we mean that the values that would make this one 0 are included, but we don't want to have the 0 in the bottom. Okay, we don't want to divide by 0. That means we need to have x cubed minus 8 different from 0. Okay. In our case, this means that we need to check the sign here, the sign of two functions. Okay. But before doing so, we notice one thing. We can factor x cubed minus 8 as x cubed minus 2 cubed. Okay, this would give us x minus 2 times x squared plus 2x plus 4. Okay, we know this from the famous identity. X cubed minus y cubed is x minus y times x squared plus xy plus y squared. This one has to be memorized by heart. To prove it, you just distribute, okay, and you will get your result. Okay, I have used this one here with x is x and y is 2. I noticed that 8 is 2 cubed, so I can use this fact here. Now, so I want to see x minus 1 over x cubed minus 8 as x minus 1 over x minus 2 over x squared plus 2x plus 4. So I want to find where this one is positive. That means I want to find where this one is positive. But here I notice one thing. This part here is always positive. It doesn't affect the sign here. Why? Because x squared plus 2x plus 4 can be written as x squared plus 2x plus 1 plus 3, which can be written again as x plus 1 squared plus 3. And this is the sum of two positive numbers. That means it's always positive. So this one doesn't affect the sign because I'm looking for the sign here to make this one positive because it's under the square root. Okay? Another thing is, so x cubed minus 8 different from 0. That means this number, which is x minus 2 times x squared plus 2x plus 4 is different from 0. Since this one can never be 0, that means x is different from 0. From 0, that means x is different from 2. So I get from here, x is different from 2. Okay? So because when x is 2, I get this part in the fraction is 0, and I can't divide by 0. So now the sign is, to study the sign of this one and check the values of x that are positive, I need only to check for this side, the sign of this one, because this one is always positive. So to do that, to check the sign where this one is positive, okay, I make a small table. So on the top row, I put x with its values. X can be any value from minus infinity to positive infinity. On the first row, I make the x the first factor, which is x minus 1. And the second one, I put x minus 2. And on the last, I put the sign. So here, I would deduce the sign of g of x. So on this row, I make the values that would make this one 0. Which one? This one which one will make this one 0? It's 2. Okay. Another key is that I draw 2 lines or a circle. One I have 2 is not included because it makes a problem. So I do like this to remind myself that 2 is not included in the domain because it makes a problem. Now I check my signs. So when x is 1, this quantity is 0. When x is less than 1, it's negative. When x is bigger than 1, it's positive. The same thing for x minus 2. When x is 2, this quantity is 0, but the 2 is not included. So I skip this one here, and I say when x is less than 2, it's negative. When x is bigger than 2, it's positive. Now for the sign, to get the sign, I get the product because this fraction means it's x minus 1 over x minus 2. It's like x minus 1 times 1 over x minus 2. So when both of them are bigger than 2, I have positive sign. When both of them are in the interval 1, 2, one is positive, one is negative, so the sign is negative. When both of them are less than 1, both of them are negative, and therefore that product is positive. From here, I can read my line. Okay, let's do it this way. So I go here and I come to 1. So I'm coming from minus infinity. Okay, I'm going this way. So going, this is 1. The 2, when I have it in line, I put a circle. Okay, so when I'm coming from minus infinity, okay, I meet 1. So here minus infinity, 1. So I'm looking for the positive. So here positive, negative, positive. So I'm coming from minus infinity until 1. After that, I skip because I'm looking for positive numbers. Union. So the 2 is not included. I'll take it out. Okay. I put 2 plus infinity, and I keep going to infinity. So this is where this function is defined when and where it's positive. Exactly. So this is our domain. So let's call it d of g. Okay. So remember this one. Helpful. Very helpful. Don't divide by fraction. Don't divide by, when you're dividing by fraction, make sure that you don't divide by 0. And when you're taking the square root, make sure that everything inside the square root is positive. Okay, these are the 3 key ideas that we needed and that we used here. For the table, I'll do 1 or 3 more examples to make it easier.